also talk about how to structure the deals. He went and got a storage facility. So he went from, okay, I'm barely starting with this, do I have the credibility, what do I do, to knowing what to do and having the structure. When he told the person, look at the SEC.gov, I got this. The guy sees on the government website his name and the actual legitimacy, because we set you up for a $100 million fund, Reg D, 506C, and the guy says, I'm in, let me write you a check. You see how beautiful this is? It's always uncomfortable when you grow. Always uncomfortable, but that's just how it's done. Okay, I think you ate, it was warm, I see that I'm losing you a little bit, so let's give it a 5 minutes break, stand up, go to the bathroom, call somebody. If there's nobody to call your mom, call your friends. How are you? How you doing? How's everybody? Okay, and then come back, 5 minutes. You know, we want to focus on Reg D 506C to set it up, because you can publicly solicit, it attracts people. If you get some non-accredited, keep track of them, and then we can roll out another Reg D 506B for you. And I got the whole thing turnkey, literally. I want to talk about these. These are very important initials. This is the lingo of the real estate fund world, so please pay close attention to this. A PPM, private placement memorandum, could also be called PPO, private placement offering, is where we're going to spell out everything. And the attorney puts 2-3 pages of disclosures and disclaimers, and that this is risky. You run the risk of losing all your money. This is because the SEC wants to see that. Because the SEC knows if it's an accredited investor, they know they're not going to lose all their money. The land is there. Who's going to take the land and run? The building is there. There is insurance. You see my point? But they want that wording in there. Before they do the private placement memorandum, they're going to ask you for what's your business plan. I'm going to give you the business plan, how to structure it. So if you're coming to the fund and you're going to tell Ashley, okay, I want to enroll for this. When we meet, the first Zoom call I do with you, I structure everything so it's turnkey for the attorney. Then I can, and 25,000, half of it goes to the attorney, if not more. I want to be able to tell the attorney, here it is, turnkey. You see my point? Because we already did the work together, and it made it encompassing everything you need, which is residential, commercial, with all subtypes of transactions, which opens the world for you, even if you do one or two. But you never know, as you start and get growing, who you're going to meet and what opportunities will pop up. Okay? So business plan, private placement memorandum, inside the private placement memorandum, which is drafted based on your business plan, there will be what's called the qualification questionnaire. This is the one that says your name, and you put, your name is Susie Johnson. How much do you make? Are you accredited or non-accredited? Here's the definition. Oh, okay, I make 1 million plus. What business do you have this? Are you a US citizen? You can take people that are not US citizens. You understand? And it just gives the information to qualify them. So the person qualifies. Then there is the subscription agreement. It's like I, Susie Johnson, hereby subscribe to 10 shares at 25,000 each. Now sometimes I get the question, Sharif, how about if I make it 10,000 so I can make it easier for people to get in? Let me tell you from experience, you get the 25,000, you get more serious people, you get to the 250 faster. How less can I work, the least amount of work for the maximum results, right? So you want the 25,000, that's when you weed out the people who's like, can I put 1,000 now and 1,000 later? Okay, those are crowd funds. Crowd funds are problematic. Just the transaction and the process of doing all this to qualify them is too much work. 25 has worked out magic, and we set up quite a few people, it works out best for them. Now, if you notice in my presentation, I said, after you buy the first share, you can buy fractional shares. Why? Believe it or not, you get so many people with self-directed IRA, and they say, I got 37,000. I wanted to keep a couple thousand in the IRA. Can I put 35? You want 25? I don't have another 20. I can buy 2 shares. No problem. You can come in with 30,000, or let's say 35. So it will be 1 unit, and let's divide 10 by 25. That's 1.6 unit. Are you with me? So you're able to take fractional. 10 extra here, 12 extra there, and all this. You are building a good structure. Remember, you have the separate class of shares that if somebody, like I had this person, she's has been a student of mine for many years, and her son, he is a bit mentally slow, okay? But he loves to listen to me. She said, I can't understand, your pace and what you cover is the only thing that can keep him paying attention. And he's got some money he wants to invest in the fund. Can we write it in his name? So I took his 1 share at $10,000. So I did it as a fractional share. Even though my fund clearly says, You've got to buy the first one first. But it also clearly says that I, as the fund manager, can make exceptions. So I was able to help this guy, which is, I mean, it's just so rewarding. He comes in on these calls where I do the answers every second Saturday, and you could see him, like, because it's Zoom, they see me, and I see him always taking notes and stuff, and his mom is just so happy. She invested a lot more money from her account, but you have that power to make some exceptions. You don't want to make too many exceptions, by the way, when I say 6 and 8. If you're going to pitch from in front of the room, and I can pay more if you're going to put more, everybody's going to feel like, wait a minute, I'm leaving money. I thought I'm going to get 8%. I'm doing well. You only do it if people come and ask you. Because if I pay Jerry 12 once, he doesn't want to come back at 8%. He's labeled me as a 12% guy. Hey, anytime you want money again, call me for 12%. You see my point? So we do it. I do it sometimes, but I told you the first time I did it was a 1 million check. I had a lady that was an investor with me. She gave me 25,000. And I knew she was rich, but she gave 25. I'm happy. You treat the 25 like the one gives you 2.5 million. You know, this is, you owe them the same respect and you have the same fiduciary responsibility. Then I was selling a home and I sent an emailer, which is something you should do. I send an email and I said, I would love for you to come this afternoon at 3 o'clock. We're gonna do a little bit get together. I'll show you the property. Now it's staged, it's gonna sell. And luckily we had an offer right away, so it's under contract. I want to show it to you so you can see one of the properties you invested in, and we bought one across the street. I want you to come and see it. So a bunch of people showed up, and she was one of them. And she said, oh, I just got the payout on August 31st. So she invested, was a couple of months before August 31st. Remember, I do the payout every 6 months. So if somebody invested 2 months before the first payout, they get the accrued interest for just 2 months. So I got the check. I said, great. She said, so you were talking about the basement, you changed the basement, you added like $3 million value. Can we look at the basement? I go down with her and her husband, and she said, so the other property, we're gonna see it? I said, yes. She sat down in the basement downstairs, we have the staged property, and she goes, how much money do you need for the other one? I said, 3 million. She opens the checkbook, make it to Makesif LLC. I said, oh, wait, you need to fill out another subscription agreement, because if somebody fills out the qualification questionnaire, and the subscription agreement, and they come in. If they want to add money, they just fill out subscription agreement, one more form. We're adding another, let's say, X. And then you give them, the only thing here is the promissory note, because at the end of the PPM, it's going to be Susie Johnson gave so much, and it's Class A shares, Class B shares, or whatever, you know. And then it says, she can give 12 months notice, she's going to get paid on August 31st. I do all this for you. It's turnkey. I just want you to learn it. We do the Zoom call, we adjust as you see fit. Then we get on the call with Bruce, the attorney. Bruce, Jerry and I already talked. Let's go over it. Bruce gives the blessing. Bruce, unlike many other attorneys who are SEC attorneys that have a template and want you to fit in their template, he understands the way we do it. He's been with me over 11 years now. And the key thing is he does litigation and PPMs. In other words, he's not like those who just whip out private placement. You tell them, what if I have a lawsuit? Can you help me? Oh no, we don't deal with the lawsuit. You have to go to attorneys who deal SEC litigation. He does both. So it's extremely powerful. Think about it. If you go to an attorney, let's say you go to somebody on your own, which you're free to do, of course, and you tell them, I want to set up a fund. I'm not sure, should I pay this or should I pay that way? That attorney cannot tell you, you need to pay. You know what, you need to maybe try to start at 5 and... because there is liability for them. SEC comes and asks you, and you say, well, he told me, or she told me, guess what? They're gonna ask them to answer. The beauty, why do I take that exposure and I do it? Because I know what works, and I've been in it, doing it myself 14 years, and then the other fund was filed 5 years later, so many years, and I know what works, and I tell you, I appreciate your idea, here is what I suggest you do. There are a couple of people I told them, I don't wanna do it for you like this, because it's not gonna work. I don't want to fight you. I give you a refund. God bless. Thank you for the time. And then they adjusted. They say, okay, you're right. Let's do it this other way. And then it works for them. Sometimes it's like this in this world, but here it is. So this lady sits down and she says, so how much? 3 million? And she started writing. I said, I'm going to send you a subscription agreement. She said, keep the check and let's do it. So the whole afternoon, I have other people coming. I'm thinking, how did she give me 25 and then 3 million? What is the disconnect? So you will meet people that will do that with you because they're testing you, and then boom, and now 3 million in. And about a couple of years later, she sent me an email. She said, Sharif, here is my 12 months notice. I need to cash out in 12 months. Well, I had just sold the property. I said, I'm not gonna keep 3,025,000 and I know I gotta cash it out in 12 months. I will not have enough time to deploy all this and do it. So I immediately wired the money back to her bank account to make her happy. She left me a voicemail message. What did I do wrong? Why did you cash me out so quickly? Well, oh, and by the way, she wanted 10%. She said, I'll do this, but can you give me 10? I had to a little bit like, okay, we'll do it. Because if I say yes right away, I mean, she's like way ahead of me, this lady, right? 25, checking me, and she does like these equipment machines for Sun Microsystem. She sells each for 6 million. I mean, like endless money. You will meet people, like people tell me, where can I get the money? It's out there. How do you think they built all this? So I wired her the money right away. But that was pretty good because she said, what did I do wrong? I said, well, I'm not gonna deploy it. I want you happy, so I give it to you back. She said, send you back the money? No, you're gonna cash it out 12 months. I don't have the money the time to do all what I wanna do with it. But you understand these? So let's repeat. What's the BP? Business plan. You're gonna have, we're gonna do it together. Those who are gonna enroll with me, then it's pretty simple. You send it to me, I'll tweak it. Memorandum. Subscription agreement. So if I tell you, made a presentation, Carl, you say, hey, here's my fund, Sharif. Let's say having lunch, and I say, Carl, I love it. I know you're doing it. I'm so glad now I'm going to do it directly with you. I like what you're doing. I like the peace of mind of the returns. So what do you need me to do? So I'm going to send you the PPM by email. There are a couple sections, attachments. I want you to print them, or if you can do them on DocuSign, we'll put them on DocuSign. You know, we can show you how. It's not so difficult. Then I'm going to send you the QQ, the qualification questionnaire, fill it out, and the subscription agreement. Okay, it's going to be in the name of my son and my daughter. Okay, cool, that's fine, but they have to be accredited. Okay, then I'll put it in my name. Okay, good. Now, how much are you going to buy? Let me get now 20 shares, 500,000. Okay, good. So now he can pre-fill the DocuSign with my name and all this. I go in, I enter the social security number, and then click. He got it signed, came back an hour later. If I say, can you tell me more because I'm a little confused, and don't worry, he can say, I'll send you the video. See, in the video, you can talk a little bit more because they can rewind. What did he say here? Oh, he can take IRA money. I didn't think about it. Some people think I don't have money. You can borrow against your 401k. Correct me if I'm wrong. They can borrow up to 50,000 or 50%, whichever is lower, right? They should change that. I'm surprised they haven't changed it yet, but it's okay.
I think they changed it for the pandemic.
For the pandemic, yeah, they changed some things for the pandemic, yeah.